Hello, and welcome to Bloomingdale's On Screen. My name is Marissa Galante Frank. I'm the fashion director here at Bloomingdale's for beauty and accessories, and I'm so excited that all of you have joined us today. I have the honor and privilege of being here with Temple St. Clair in her beautiful studio in New York City in Soho. Temple is a twice published author. She is the founder and creative director of Temple St. Clair, and we are so excited to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marissa. It is very exciting considering that we've been locked down for so long and we've been doing lots of virtual presentations and things, but this is like in live and it's so much fun to see someone's face.
Oh my gosh, it's such a treat.
Yeah.
And everyone at home, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in. We have, Bloomingdale's and Temple St. Clair. Of course, we know our relationship goes back for a year. So we first started carrying your collection in 2009.
That's right.
And we have some of our best customers tuned in at home. So
yeah, it's usually, we're here in the studio here in New York, and a lot of you, I think, I'm not quite sure everyone who's out there, but I'm sure there are quite a few of you have been here. And, Bloomingdale's has been an amazing partnership for all these years, and many of my collectors have even come to Florence with me. Incredible. And we've been reminiscing about that a lot. Really can't wait for everybody to come back here and hopefully go to Florence again too.
I mean, such fantastic things to look forward to, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
So today we are going to look at the spring collection. I wish everyone at home, and you will see what I'm looking at shortly, but we are this beautiful bookshelf. There are sketches all over, beautiful watercolors. I just cannot wait for everyone at home to see all the beautiful things you have planned for us.
Yeah, I have some beautiful things to show you, and it really is a very personal studio. I've collected, books are very important to me. I came to jewelry through a love of literature and art history, and I have a collection of art books and jewelry books here and Italian literature from my studies there for years. And it's a very personal place. It's down in Soho in New York, and luckily the sun is starting to come out today, so it's starting to be a nice spring day. And we'll have some great light to look at some jewelry.
Beautiful. And I want to remind everyone at home that if you purchase from today's event, I believe if you spend over $1,000, you get a signed copy of your book.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
What a treat.
Yeah.
So great.
Okay.
All right, so should we get to the collection?
Absolutely. Let's
Fantastic.
Okay. So basically, we have the studio set up today, as I would for a studio visit when we have clients in. And I have things sort of set up showing you some newness and showing important collections. So I'm always playing in the area of nature-inspired items, and then I go to celestial, astronomical, and astrologically inspired things. And I work in a fine jewelry. It is very fine jewelry. Sometimes I refer to it as slow jewelry. Sometimes it takes a little longer than I would like sometimes, but the end result is fantastic. And still working with amazing artisans in Italy, in Florence, and in other areas of Florence, and beyond, also actually in Sri Lanka and in Bangkok today as well, where there are some amazing gold workers. The new collection stems from the Tree of Life collection, and this is the Tree of Life pendant. It comes in a couple of different sizes. This is a classic perennial pendant that I do. The beauty of it, though, it can be personalized and turned into a family tree or to commemorate any other occasion. So
Fantastic.
It's quite beautiful. You can put your initials and names along the branches of the tree. So it's a particularly meaningful, beautiful piece. And actually, people love my chains too. It's actually on the Jeanne d'Arc chain, which it clips into, which is a fantastic chain that I know a lot of my Bloomingdale's collectors have loved because different things can be, added to it.
Yeah, I think that's there's so many fantastic things about your line, but you really can get so personal with adding your pieces. I know I'm so lucky today I get to wear this fantastic charm necklace, and I was able to choose all of the pendants here.
Exactly.
So everyone at home, if I'm sure you already own some Temple, you could always buy new pendants and update and really bring things into your life that have meaning, which I think in this past year, it's really taken time to think about what's important to us. So I think a Tree of Life pendant is such a great way to kind of commemorate the people closest in our life.
Yeah, I think this year in particular, I was speaking to a journalist yesterday who was asking me about meaningful jewelry and special messages in jewelry. And this is so key to that. And so many of my pieces, even the angel pendant that you have on, we need to get you one of those with rose engraved on the back for baby Rose.
My daughter's name is Rose. We were just talking about our children right before.
So the angels actually started with my two sons. So 20 some years ago, my sons are 24 and 20, Alex and Archer. And I got two angels and inscribed their names on the back in Florence.
I love that.
And that was just a personal thing. And then people started seeing it and wanting them. So the angels,
That's
as
fantastic.
many of you are very familiar with, that's become, a wonderful collection, and just I've made angel necklaces for grandmothers and charm bracelets. It's just
amazing.
Ongoing.
And then if someone at home, just because I'm sure everyone is thinking about this, if they want to engrave, they could place a special order through your Bloomingdale's representative, and they could talk to you.
Yeah, and the engraving is included.
Perfect.
The angel. So any angel can be engraved, and they're really so beautiful for just about any occasion.
Yeah, what a great gift.
So-
And Mother's Day is coming up too.
Exactly.
So that's perfect timing.
So need to get your order in quick so we can get the engraving by
Right.
Monday. So talking about other new pieces for the spring, and actually these are sitting on a lot of my watercolors, and that was something that I think Bloomingdale's was asking a lot about in particular, is that I do a lot of watercolors that don't necessarily have to do with the specific jewel. It's not like I'm watercoloring the specific jewel. It's more like I'm watercoloring the world that I imagine around these jewels. So this spring in particular, I was looking at Botticelli and wishing I was in Florence. And actually this ranunculus comes from flowers that are in the Botticelli Primavera, which is the birth of spring, and of the birth of Venus as well. So that's what a lot of the sort of botanical drawings are. That's what I've been doing this spring. And then it does flow again from Tree of Life. There are a lot of, I have on the classic vine bracelet, and this is a piece that's really become one of my classics, but we've added in this spring one with turquoise, which I'm loving. I love the two together. I love to layer things, obviously, so those are really, really sort of stunning pieces, as well as these. I think you have one of these on.
Yes, I have the turquoise cuff on. It was so easy. Honestly, it's so comfortable wearing it. It fits so perfectly, and it's really just an easy piece to layer, like you said.
Yeah, so these are called the Bellina Bracelets, and so I do them in my classic blue moonstone, which is a very iconic stone for us, and of course the turquoise. So those are both new for this spring. So this is what fine jewelry is about too. You have pieces, it's not trendy, it's not momentary. These are pieces meant to be held and handed down. So that's why something like the vine bracelet is a classic of ours. And then I kind of layer in newness. And I think that too, I believe I'm going into my 35th year.
That's
and I have a lot of
incredible.
collectors that have been with me for a long time.
Wow.
And just keep layering in. Pieces. I love some of the new turquoise pieces too. I felt like, particularly this spring, with what we've all been through, I felt like there just needed to be a lightness of being.
Couldn't agree
so
more.
that's been a theme running through this collection. This is, again, marrying my blue moonstone and turquoise, which I think just are really fresh, beautiful pieces. So as you see here, more turquoise pendants, a little bit different sizing than the ones you have on here. These are some of what we call the minis, but there are sort of larger versions. Of course, the amulet, my rock crystal amulet that you have on as well. As many of you know, the rock crystal amulet is my most signature jewel.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I first learned about your line many years ago. That is what really drew me in. It's such a unique, incredible, iconic piece.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, I really come to jewelry through, again, this love of history and art history, and a love of, not symbolism, but of how we respond to jewelry and how we collect it. And the idea of amulet is kind of really the beginning of the history of jewelry. If you think of very primitive things that someone might have tied around your neck. And so the rock crystal amulet is sort of my first jewel. And keeping with that idea of that history.
I love the chain this is on too, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a different chain. It looks, is that?
Yeah, so this, again, going with in this lightness of being, there are bees. There's a bee motif here. So this is a honeycomb chain, and it comes in a few different sizes. I'll show you. There's another one down at the end of the table. And also that translated into these fantastic bracelets, which I love, which in a way are kind of vintagey, cool, but just I love the hexagonal shape. It's kind of amazing that shape occurred by itself in nature, not by itself, but with very talented bees.
Right.
So there's this larger and smaller link in this hexagonal bracelet, and I believe it's at Bloomingdale's right now. There's a very stunning necklace done. That sort of graduated honeycomb pattern. And of course, there are more bees here. There are bees, and again, the honeycomb motif. And it's smaller items. We did a whole series of little studs with the hexagonal motif, and there are other bees, one bee landing and one resting bee, and
I love that.
I love to play with all those.
Yeah, that's great. I love this hive. And speaking of the necklace, I wanted to talk to everyone who's tuning in. Thank you for giving us that special piece, because it really is quite a showstopper. We have it on we have an exclusive Instagram account, so I know everyone at home who is tuning in, you are part of our Unlocked program, which are some of our best customers, and it's a secret Instagram that only the Unlocked customers have access to.
Oh, fun.
So we're featuring the necklace there, it's stunning beyond, so thank you again for your partnership.
And it's the only one at the moment, so you might have to fight over it out there. But otherwise it would be a special order, but done by some of our partners in Italy. It's fantastic.
It's it's stunning.
So there are a few more bees in here, and even temple honey.
Yum.
Again, my watercolors, I love doing labels for things. So the honey, which I think some of you all have had out there in the world, and more new rock crystal amulets with the bees, which I love. Just this little beehive motif and the bees on them in a couple of different links. And then this is a necklace that we have done, the busy bee necklace.
That's adorable.
It's fun. And again, as I was referring to, the hex chain, the larger chain, which is beautiful. And these chains are all the hexagonals. They're all hand done. None of my chains, they're all what I call off the shelf, commercially made chain. They're all done by hand, so they have a beautiful weight and feel to them. And they're all finished with my little temple hallmark.
I love that.
On each one. And again, it's 8, for those who aren't completely familiar with the collection, it's all 18 karat yellow gold, and just has a very beautiful feel to it.
I mean, I feel so inspired being around all of this jewelry. I hope it's coming through on screen. Everything is just the little touches, even in this bracelet. I mean, having the bee here on the clasp, what a special detail.
Yeah.
Like, you truly are an artist. I just want to talk to you for hours about all of your art. Even on this beautiful notebook, your sketches of the bees. I love the little crown. If you are an artist at home or just understand the artistic process, this is just an incredible, incredible place to be.
It's what I love to do. I mean, it's,
fun.
Again, it's 35 years, but I think it comes through. I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
And so fortunate, to be able to sort of delve into different subject matter that I love, whether it's in nature or art or historical stories and mythology. And it's just
so inspiring.
I'm incredibly fortunate.
It's so inspiring.
I'll take you over here for a moment, and staying with the nature motif. These are a few items and a new item that's not directly from the Golden Menagerie, but the Golden Menagerie was my first haute couture collection.
Okay.
And I showed it in Paris at the Decorative Arts Museum there, and it has gone into many collections now. There was a book by Asseline on it, and so this is kind of where I work as more of an artist, where things might verge on being less comfortable to wear, but almost like a couture gown might not be completely comfortable, but you wear it with intention and sort of ceremoniously. So that's what this is about. And this bee bracelet is sort of the pinnacle of what my goldsmiths in Florence can do. So this one, literally, I was in Florence all one summer, tearing down vines of wisteria from the walls and wrapping them around and going in and saying, this is the motion of I want in this bracelet.
That is
and
incredible.
My oldest goldsmith, who's 83 now, I believe, and sequestered at home to keep him safe right now, you know, did all the work on this and all, and then a chiseler did all the
oh my gosh, can
texture.
I touch
So,
that? This is
so yeah,
stunning.
talk about slow jewelry. I mean, the level, it's almost
this?
more sculptural. I mean, the level of artistry and detail, it's so old world,
Right.
but that we've preserved. We've actually, as a company, we've been very, you know, proud to sort of preserve this artisanship in Florence in particular.
And this is the only piece of this that exists, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is so stunning. Talk about something that really, as you said, can be passed down from generation to generation.
It's a treasure.
So it's truly a treasure.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I want to come with you to Florence. This is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
definitely
gorgeous.
should. Get on that next trip.
I know.
When we can do that.
I know, that would be great.
It's so fun to go visit the goldsmiths. Each of these two has, this was a marble box that I also designed to go with this piece. So this houses it.
Wow.
You know.
And all of these pieces can be special ordered, right?
Well,
they're not on our website, everyone at home, they're not on the Bloomingdale's website, of course, but you can get in touch with your Bloomingdale specialist and we can get you this.
Yeah, this is really an insider's view that you're
Yes.
getting today, because these really don't travel. You really have to come to the studio.
Which you might want to come to the studio.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible here.
Yeah.
And then just to your couture, I don't want to glaze over the fact that you were inducted into the Louvre.
Yes, because of this collection, the curators at the Decorative Arts Museum at the Louvre, you know, saw this work. I was there showing during a high jewelry week when, you know, Chanel and Boucheron, all the big brands, and I was getting a lot of attention. and the curators of the museum wanted a piece for their permanent collection. So I'll be showing you that piece too.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can certainly see why. Is that a snail?
This is Trippy the snail. He's kind of
gosh.
Trippy the psychedelic snail.
Wow.
And this led to a whole collection that I called Color Theory.
Cool.
That was really looking at all different colored gemstones and different strange combinations of gemstones. So it's got everything from every different colored sapphire to savarite, garnet, emerald, Paraíba tourmaline, and he even has a little snail slime and diamonds after the end of his tail.
Of course he does. That's amazing. I love that. And there's a bird here, right?
That is from the middle part of the Golden Menagerie from Wings of Desire, and I love birds, and that's one thing in New York, strangely enough. You know, there's some bird watching to be done here, and there are incredible red-tailed hawks that I've known for years that live in the park across the street from me. So this was sort of inspired by them. This little golden eggs.
Maybe our next event together has to be bird watching. That would be so fun.
I know. There's major bird watching, and you know, we're on a migratory path,
right.
New York. So we do, if you stop and look,
and then we could sketch it.
Yeah.
I mean, people at home, everyone at home also, I didn't say this in the beginning, I apologize. We would love to hear from you. So if you have questions or comments in the chat, please drop us a note, because after this session we'll be sitting and we could get to some of your burning questions. I mean, I've been asking a million questions because there's so much to see here. So please, and if you're interested in our bird watching event that we'll do together.
So at this corner, actually this piece is kind of related to what's happening here.
Okay.
So I do the fine jewelry, which are the collections that I present. And as part of that, there are limited edition items and high jewelry pieces. And those are mostly dictated by what gems I'm finding, and unusual gems and one-of-a-kind pieces. So actually this bracelet is a pretty stunning piece. This is tanzanite.
Wow.
But not exactly tanzanite. It's zoocite, which is tanzanite that has not been heated. Because all tanzanite that's on the market to get to that purple that we love, and that's industry accepted that tanzanite is heated in that way, but it's very unusual to get the natural material out of the ground with an attractive color.
Okay.
So this is natural zoocite, so a beautiful array of sort of blue-greens. So this is a one-of-a-kind piece. And so what happens is I collect gemstones, and as I find interesting colored gemstones. And the colored gemstone world is so different from diamond world, because diamond world I can order up pretty much whatever diamond I want to work with. But in the colored gemstone world, each piece is very unique. So these pieces, for instance, this is my iconic blue moonstone, but these are very large, beautiful pieces that are extremely rare. So,
and where do you find your gemstones?
After the gemstone world, I mean, the jewelry world is kind of it's a very old world of the way it works, and it works on relationship. So after 30 some years, I have amazing relationships around the world, whether in Australia, Germany, Brazil, India, Thailand, with different stone cutters and dealers. So we bring in gemstones from all over the world.
So it sounds like you can really find anything.
Just about,
Wow.
yeah. And so often we do sometimes get commissions if you're looking for something really special or unique, or, you know, we have incredible access. And also that relationship thing, because these gem dealers are dealing with me or my husband, and it's very personal.
Right.
And they love like I love my creations, they love their gems. So oftentimes they'll bring us something or give us access to something that you might not normally get.
That's incredible.
So that's just another thing to think about. And I've been doing that for some Bloomingdale's collectors, where they're, you know, want an incredible Paraiba tourmaline, and then they, you know, want maybe a pendant, blue moonstone pendant that will do Paraiba around, or, you know, just fun, interesting things. So black opal from Australia. This is very interesting tourmaline. Peridot, these are star sapphires. Blue zircon is interesting, beautiful blue. So yeah, and these are, again, with studio visits or presentations that I do, it's often to show something new that's arrived that we're doing something with, or to offer the opportunity to, you know, have one of these treasures.
So everyone at home, please keep this in mind, because this is truly, if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind piece, I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that's what real jewelry is, right?
Yeah.
These treasures. This is called the Dream Catcher necklace.
Wow.
Which is kind of an amazing piece. It's like a textile. It's very light and comfortable and beautiful on. But this was kind of born after Trippy the Snail, after investigating all these different gemstones in different colors. So this is almost like a sampler of gemstones.
I love
and it's
that.
actually really fun to wear and really easy to wear. It's beautiful just on the skin, or it's beautiful on a turtleneck. I mean, it's,
you
know,
on
this fixture it looks very, but it's actually very, you know, sort of a
I want to try that on
feel.
after this. That's amazing. I mean, that's a beautiful, if you have, you know, when obviously the world is going back, if you're getting married or your daughter's getting married or you have a very special event, that is such a stunning piece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Also, a few interesting just gemstones in here. For instance, I have this setting on. This is my very sort of classic setting. I have an emerald on. My husband can't give me jewelry, so he'll give me an occasional great stone. I usually set it in one of my classic settings. But these are all tourmalines, and really interesting shades of tourmaline. So these I would consider my limited edition pieces, because I do set this kind of setting over and over again, but each one's made particularly to the stone. So
beautiful.
We will always have something in these settings as we find things and set them. So these are some beautiful greens that are sitting here now, and it's just so fun to see the difference in the, you know, sort of blue green and then this lighter green, and which I love. I just love it.
I feel like green is really having a moment too in fashion.
Is it? I don't know.
I mean, of course, well, you're not following, you know, you set the trends here, of course.
Okay.
You know, you're not following, but I would say, of course, you know, green is synonymous with nature, which is inspiring of your collection, but across the world, brands and fashion right now, there's a lot of green out there.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
well, green's one of my favorite.
Green
Greens
moment.
and blues. Of course, I go all the over. I mean, I like oranges. It depends what's really in front of me, but I do love the blues and greens. This is another one-of-a-kind piece, which is an amazing array of blue moonstone.
Can I try that one? Oh my gosh.
Blue moonstone, aquamarine, peridot, iolite. And this is, again, after sort of collecting a group of stones. I love this bracelet because it's, you know, I was about to speak in Italian. It's morbido. It's soft, but it's it's rigid at the same time, so it holds its structure. It's a really, really stunning piece. I mean, this is one of those things you just like wear that, and you're
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, your pieces have such great movement. Even like you said, a piece that is more structured, there still is movement and it's comfortable, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I pride our artisanship on everything being finished beautifully inside and out. And again, it's that fine jewelry workmanship. So you can, we photograph our things. I photograph them really close because we can. We have nothing to hide. They're just very, very beautiful.
So stunning.
Finishing. More of the rock crystal amulets. So typically there's a new amulet with every new collection, and then they are collectible and they keep going. So this is the Astrid from last fall.
And that has diamonds along the border there, right?
Yes, this has diamonds, and this has a beautiful line from the last line of the Divine Comedy by Dante that basically says, love moves the sun and the other planets. And it's basically love conquers all. And I thought this came out last fall, and I was really revisiting my Renaissance literature and the plague that came before the Renaissance. That's what I keep reminding myself. The Renaissance came after a very dark period.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking for a Renaissance.
I think we'll have one. I think we'll have one.
So.
I mean, that's so amazing. Your pieces truly are treasures that you just keep discovering as you tell me more about them. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, certainly this idea of a sense of discovery is in the pieces, not only sort of the storytelling and the themes behind, but also just how they're made and certain details. It's really meant for the wearer to discover, So that brings us to some celestial inspired pieces. And some of these I'll bring back and we can sit and look at them more closely. But I do love to play around in the world, in the cosmos, in the world of astronomy and astrology, which thousands of years ago were equally important. Astrology was just as important as looking at the stars. So some of these pieces kind of have secret meaning as well. This is the piece that in the full color and all the sapphires is the one that sits in the Louvre at the Decorative Arts Museum. And it is engraved on the back with all the planetary spheres in Latin, all the planetary spheres as they were believed to be 2,000 years ago.
Wow.
This is pre-Copernicus, pre-Galileo. So it's called the Ptolemeo, which is Ptolemy, the Greek astronomer who decided the Earth was the center of the universe, and then the planets went out from there, and the sun is sort of halfway out.
Incredible.
So
that is so.
Yeah. So that's exactly the hypothesis. And then this, you all are the first to see. This just came in diamond. So I just did a full diamond one, which is quite beautiful.
That is stunning.
So it's fun. You could set it on, just wear it on the gold or
turn
spin
over
it around.
too. Yeah,
and it's great. It's very cool. Worn long or
shorter. Yeah, that is so stunning. I love that. I have to ask you, what's your sign?
Leo, of course.
Oh.
Leo, fiercely independent, wants to do what she wants.
I love it. I love it. I'm sure we have some Leos tuning in at home as well.
I'm sure.
And then they come in mini too, which is really great.
So I'll show you some of the different sizes. So that would be the medium size.
That's great.
And then these come in the sapphire as well. And so everyone can have a little piece of the universe.
And all of the zodiac signs are here engraved.
Wow. The little planetary glyphs and zodiac. So these are
so stunning.
Charming, literally.
They are. They are charming.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
So they're beautiful. They're beautiful to layer, with the angels or with the amulets or whatever. Oh, there's one more really fun piece. This was also from last fall. This is actually this. It's a ring.
Okay.
So as I said, this was called the Astrid Amulet. This is the Astrid ring.
Gorgeous.
And it's based on an astronomical instrument called an armillary, which is a little mini model of the universe. Wow. So this one too basically says love conquers all, but it's hidden away.
Love that.
It's a few little diamonds, and if you want to, you could just put it on a chain.
And then do these move to? Oh
yeah,
wow!
It opens up.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it opens up just like that one.
If you guys can see that. Wow, that is,
Yeah, I love these.
I mean, talk about jewelry really telling a story and reflecting who you are. This is incredible.
And this one, again, in keeping with astronomical theory and these instruments or models of the universe, this is a really fun piece too. This is a Sundial Bracelet. So images of sun and moon, different motifs, different cosmic motifs. But this one is really fun if you can see. Let's see if I can open this up. On the inside, there's engraving, and on one side, there's a slight little hole. See right there?
Oh, yes.
And it's not as quick as looking at your watch, nor quite as punctual. However, if you're having a leisurely lunch with friends out in one of our little outdoor spots, try to get the sun going through this hole, and you can read on the inside. You can tell time.
Oh my
in
goodness.
New York or in Florence. Of course, you know, I'm partial to New York and Florence where I am.
I love New York and Florence.
But it's so fun. And this
Wow.
bracelet, actually, I'll bring it with us. I can
great.
tell you about the rest of it. This bracelet, I can personalize it by adding the your zodiac, like the constellations of your zodiac.
Oh, so of your
on the
family or your
outside.
children? Or
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing.
I'll bring some of these around too. Is there anything else you'd like to see?
Perhaps
More
we should
closely?
bring these over. These are stunning. It's
There we
really
go.
hard to choose.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this one I recently did do one of these bracelets for mother and her daughters, and they are all Capricorn. So I added a Capricorn constellation, and her mother was Leo, so
Okay.
added a Leo, and then I left
is
the
so
other
special.
constellations, which have to do with ancient navigation by the stars.
I feel
so
like
it's to find your way and tell the time.
I feel like we need a reading list after this because there are so many books I'm now inspired to read as well about all of this. This is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I guess let's get into more details. We're going to show you, everyone, on your screen some product-specific pieces. So I think first we're going to talk about Bold Gold and the bee. So let's go
Yes.
back to that collection. Obviously, you spoke a lot about your love of nature, and we know philanthropy is a big part of your DNA as well.
Yes, yes. Actually, we've had, you know, there have been, you know, it's interesting this last year because you really do question what you're doing and how you're doing, and ours has really been working to refine and do more. And one thing we managed to do in the last year, I'm on the advisory board of a conservation organization called Big Life.
Okay.
And the Big Life Foundation works in an area of Kenya. It's got the largest population of big tuskers, big elephants that are still wild in the area, and lions, and you know, a great range of wildlife. And you know, we've been doing, through sales of jewelry, been doing a lot for them. And what I've learned over the years since doing the Golden Menagerie is that conservation has really got to be community based. So what we did in the fall actually paid for, you know, annual salaries for about 50 of the rangers.
Wow.
So, you know, amazing support.
That's incredible.
And yeah, so we do things that have to do with certain conservation and then local things as well.
I love that. And are there certain pieces of your collection, is that a total brand message, or are there certain pieces of your collection that focus on certain causes?
That has been, when we've done those pushes, it's really been across all categories because we want everyone to feel that they can be part of it.
Yes,
So,
that makes
yeah.
sense. I love it. And I see you're wearing the bee amulet today.
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Stunning. And then I think, you know, everyone at home is asking in the chat about turquoise.
Yes.
So obviously I am lucky enough to wear some of your gorgeous turquoise pieces,
Yeah.
but let's chat about turquoise, the turquoise quality, which I can only imagine is
Yeah, of course,
impeccable.
ours is what you call, ours is natural turquoise, and you have to be really careful on the market with turquoise in particular. There seems to be a lot of turquoise out there, but there's not really a lot of natural turquoise out there. And all natural turquoise needs to be stabilized. So it needs to be treated in a certain way because turquoise is a very soft stone. And so ours is, it goes through both a natural process called the Zachary process and another process that has a slight coating on it to make it hard and polishable.
Okay.
So that has to be done to natural turquoise. So that's what it is. And it's from 2 particular mines in Arizona, Sleeping Beauty and Kingsman.
Wow, fantastic. And then we are also, looking on the screen, everyone is looking at the Moonstone piece. So why don't we talk about Moonstone? I feel like you've used it a lot throughout your collection. What attracts you to this stone? Why is this special to you?
Yeah, Blue Moonstone I was introduced to years ago, and I love its light and sort of the magic of how it looks on different skin tones, and then the larger one-of-a-kind pieces. It's so versatile, and now combining it with the turquoise is particularly beautiful, I find. So I've done a real collection around it at the high jewelry level, and then our repeated pieces. I think it's a very flattering stone on the skin. It's almost like you think of pearls as being flattering. It gives a great deal of light.
Agreed. Someone at home is asking about the vine bracelet on your wrist. Is this for sale?
You can have 2. There are 2 here. Yeah. I can have them on 2 wrists. But yes, it is. I'm just borrowing this one today. But yeah, that's a classic piece. We typically always have a vine bracelet around. Yeah, I love it. It has beautiful granulation. So this really refers to sort of early work of mine, sort of architecturally inspired, Etruscan granulation inspired. It's so
beautiful.
Very early.
I love how you have it layered too with your gold bangles as well. It's such an easy
bracelet.
My
gold bangles too. If anyone comes to Florence with me, they have an opportunity to get gold bangles. I have the goldsmiths basically make these from scratch for me. I wear one in 24 karat gold, 22 karat gold, and 18 karat gold, just to have my gold sampler always in hand.
It's amazing. And then everyone is also asking about the amulet. Of course, this is such an iconic piece in your collection and something that you continue to reiterate depending on the theme. So why don't you just tell us, how did you come up with the amulet? How did you?
Yeah, the amulet it's one of my first jewels, and it was really inspired by visiting an exhibit there was in Florence back in the 80s of these amulets and talismans and charms that belonged to Lorenzo de' Medici.
Wow.
And the whole idea of amulet and that sort of very personal quality that you kind of pick what is your amulet attracts me. Again, it's that connection to jewelry. So it makes sense that it's as I was saying before, it's my first jewel, sort of historically an early jewel, and then it's become my most iconic piece. And as I say, I add a new one with each new collection.
Yeah, I mean, I love this turquoise one that I have the pleasure and honor of wearing. Is so stunning.
Yeah, the turquoise is so strong and fresh.
Yeah, it just screams spring, summer, lightness. I think that optimism we were talking about earlier, it's really just the perfect piece. And then on to another recognizable piece of your collection, the angel.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
So how did the angel become a part of this collection? I think you said it earlier, your son's.
Yeah. It originally was just a personal jewel that I got for myself, and then buyers, such as buyers at Bloomingdale, like, what is that? So I started setting it because, of course, I didn't invent that angel. That's an angel from a Renaissance painting by Raphael.
Right.
But so I set them in my classic setting, and they've become so meaningful for so many people because, again, the engraving comes along with them, and for new mothers or for grandmother or just about anyone.
Yeah, or self-purchase.
Absolutely. I
think after this year, we all deserve an angel.
Yeah, it's like having your own guardian angel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's so special. We have another audience question. So before we move on, what is the piece that you wear every day?
I wear, and they know here, I wear just about every day I have an amulet on. I often wear an amulet on a leather cord.
Ooh,
so
I love that.
I wear, and we have some great leather cords with gold clasp and different colors that are wonderful and could be doubled. So these days I'm doubling my leather cord, wearing my archival amulet, and I have a great pair of hoops I call my yoga hoops that are kind of my go-to. But then I wear great rings every day. I often will have ruby, sapphire, emerald,
The color is just stunning.
Yeah, color really makes me happy. So
I mean, and lack of color. I mean, I have, I think, your blue moonstone and your diamonds, but really stunning. These rings
I love the blue moon on you. It's great.
I love that. Is this part of the Celestial collection?
It is.
That is gorgeous.
Yes.
And there's little diamonds hidden around the side. I mean, these are
and of course the vine ring. So
vine,
that's part of
this gorgeous vine collection.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful. And then I believe the last thing we really want to discuss is about, history. Obviously, we talked about the Louvre and how fantastic it is that you were inducted there.
Yes.
And your inspiration. I think everyone at home right now is looking at that piece. So if I see you have it here again. In the diamond is
the diamond
stunning.
one. I'm kind of I love color, but this one that just arrived this week is pretty fabulous. I'm kind of.
I mean, everyone at home. We are the first people to see this piece, which is really fantastic.
And you can't quite see it on this screen, but again, engraved on the back with all the planetary spheres as they were believed to be a couple of thousand years ago. Earth of the center of the universe, and I think planet Earth should be the center of our universe, right?
Right. I mean, it's our home.
Yes.
It's our home for now.
Yes. Yes.
And then lastly, I feel like we talked quite a bit about customization here, which I think beyond the fact that all of your pieces tell a story, it's nice to then infuse as a customer your own story in it as well. So do all pieces come with customization, or how does that work exactly?
So as I mentioned, the angels can all be engraved, and it can be a name, a special message, initials, really whatever you want. And the same as I said for the Tree of Light. But there are other pieces too. There are other of our bracelets and pieces where there's an area in gold, we can do something.
That's great.
So we have beautiful hand engravers and can do various things to.
That's fantastic.
Put a date. Angels are great. I guess we have Mother's Day, and then we have graduation coming up. So often the angels also for graduation and a date or something
special
are important pieces. Yeah.
I also think even if you're not engraving something, everything feels customizable because you could build your own layer, you could build your own necklace, build your bracelet.
Absolutely. I think, I got into jewelry years ago. I was really not a jewelry person. That's why I started making jewelry. No, because I was living in Florence and studying there, and I just commercially didn't see jewelry that I love, but I was looking at all these paintings and the Uffizi and the textiles and patterns, and that's how I came to all of this.
Wow.
And then, so I've never wanted to dictate to anyone as like a brand, them wearing it a certain way. I love how people put together their own collections and layer, and that's why all the chains coming separately in different lengths, and the way to put together your own collection, I think is really great. That's amazing. Well, I feel like we can speak about this for hours, but I know we are out of time. We should do a series, right? Yeah, maybe everyone at home, would you like a series? But really, Temple, I cannot thank you enough personally and on behalf of the Bloomingdale's customers and the Bloomingdale's family, not only for today, but also for your partnership. Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I have such great appreciation. I mean, my incredible team here, Jasmine, who a lot of you all know, who did a lot of the groundwork to make this happen. Yes. And, there are other people here, but all the behind the scenes, both on my team and Bloomingdale's, and I so appreciate everything. So thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, everyone at home, for tuning in. Everything you saw today is either available on Bloomingdale's website or can be purchased special order through your Bloomingdale specialist. And I mean, you heard Temple, it really seems like if you dream it, you could possibly make it, which is rare. Yes. Yeah. So, if you're looking for some special gem or something, call Jasmine. Yeah, Jasmine. Yeah. Yes. But thank you, everyone. Seriously, it's been such a great afternoon. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.